What's going on, y'all? It's your boy X, Xavier, here in the beautiful city of Austin, Texas, with my homie, Rami. We are sitting here in the studio, getting ready to do some tea time, talking about what's coming up here in Austin this week, next week. If you're not here, you should be here. If you're on your way here, we're going to see you there. South by Southwest.
Here.
Yeah.
Austin is crowded right now. Have you seen the traffic?
Yeah. I drove in it.
Last night, I was going to downtown actually to attend one of the events for European delegation for startups. We were in traffic for almost an hour and a half.
What? Are you serious?
I'm serious. It was that bad. But South by Southwest is here, and a lot of stuff is happening.
Mm-hmm.
But this year is a little bit different.
How so?
It's the crowd. It's a crowd. And more European crowd are here.
100%. I can definitely agree with that. Actually, one of my friends is coming in from the UK. Shout out to Paul. Next week, and we're going to be seeing a lot of different folks all across all next week, just going to Funded House, going down to Q Branch, going to Capital Factory, a lot of different events next week. So I definitely agree that there's a lot of European presence in Austin right now. And it's probably going to be a lot more shared Lyft drivers.
Absolutely.
That are here. I was at Hertz earlier today going to look at a Tesla, and the amount of people that were coming in just to rent through Hertz to go drive Lyft was incredible.
Really?
Yeah, there was a line of people going to Hertz to rent vehicles to go drive Lyft for this week.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that until I was there. It was a really crappy service.
People basically, they going to like rent a car to use it to make some money during the South by Southwest.
Yep. Exactly that.
That's a great idea.
I mean, you have people who come in and they want to have a specific kind of car or have, room or space or whatever the case may be. And if you don't have that kind of vehicle, you can go and borrow it and drive it for a time.
Mm-hmm. If you're listening to this podcast and you are from Europe and you are in Austin, Texas, welcome to Tea with Rami podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And today we're gonna, as you said, we're gonna talk about the South by Southwest and the whole crowd and the vibes in Austin. Mm-hmm. And actually, the weather is pretty good right now. Today is a little bit cloudy, but overall, weather wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
it wasn't rainy and nasty.
It's been cool. I'd say cooler than it's been in the last week or so. I don't know if you agree.
I can tell you, as you just mentioned, a European crowd. I saw so many European startup founders last night, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I saw so many bright, talented, young people in that room, and they all had great ideas, and some they already raised money, and actually one won the prize of 500,000 euros.
500,000 euros
for their startup. And it was amazing. And we were there. We were attending it. We were just doing the production for them, for the whole thing. But I was one of the guests as well. It was amazing. And when you see these people, they have so many great ideas. You get inspired.
You were telling me a little bit about some of the stuff that you were seeing last night. So, like, y'all didn't hear, people who are listening didn't hear, but tell me about some of the software, some of the ideas and concepts you saw last night.
Like one of the software that I saw that was very brilliant, called Sessions. Mm-hmm. And basically these guys, they kind of integrate like Calendar with the other, with the video conferencing, everything under one roof. And then they added artificial intelligence to it as well. And the best part was the price was very affordable.
Really?
Very affordable.
I'm interested in that because all of the softwares you just listed, I use all of them.
Yeah, and these guys, they brought everything under one roof, and they made our lives much easier because I saw the demo, I heard to their pitch, and they already raised a lot of money. They were going for the second round. And the founder was very nice. And we're going to use it. We're going to use it in our agency and support them. Because as I said earlier, these talented people, they all need support.
Yeah.
And they're going to break into United States market, which is, I love it, because we need talented people. We have it here, but most of the startup, they're coming from Europe right now.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting that you say that because, as I was saying, one of my friends is coming in next week. That's what he actually does, is help European companies or European founders and companies to get into the U.S. And there's a few different markets that he's really focusing on expanding, one of them being primarily Austin. It's a huge tech scene here. Like, I go to different events where I meet different founders and funders and a lot of different VCs, and they're talking about Austin being like the new...
it's a new hub.
Yeah, it's the new hub. It's the new... like.
Actually, they kind of, the Austin is connecting European entrepreneurs and the founders to U.S. market and investors. Basically, there is an ecosystem right now. They have created an ecosystem. One of the incubators that they do a fabulous job is Rubik Garage.
What's tell me about that.
Rubik Garage is like an incubator that they are actually connecting the European founders and the startup to U.S. market. It's started in Europe, and now they are here. And they're coming and going back and forth with Europe and United States, but they have a delegation that bring all these startup founders here in the United States, meet and greet the investor, do their pitches and all that stuff. It's a great movement. It's a great thing to do because we need more ideas.
Yeah. I actually just got to witness another software, which is pretty much like a competitor for LinkedIn. It's I think it's called Socium, something like that, where not only can you connect with people, but you can actually like send out text messages and like it has all these other integrations inside of it too. And I'm like, wow, it's a European-based company that's expanding in the U.S. and growing their market for different people here in the U.S. And I'm like, wow, this is just crazy. Like just the amount of sheer genius and technology that people think of that are expanding into the U.S.
And technology is changing rapidly. Rapidly, as you know. Every day you see something new.
100%.
You see some new platforms every day. And sometimes it's confusing. Like you remember, I asked you today, I'm going to create a community, and which platform do you think I should use? And you said, here you go, you got 5-6 choices. And they all have different capabilities, different perks, different pricing, but the competition is out there. But what is going to make you different is the value that you're going to create.
100%.
And I remember last time we were talking to some founders, and they all mentioned that they're trying to create more values for the U.S. market above and beyond the pricing, like to give something, to create that experience. And I totally agree with them. When you do that, you have a customer for life.
I shameless plug, right? When you're talking about building those communities and all those things and branding and all that stuff, you've created one of the greatest spaces I've seen in the Austin market for business owners to be able to have their footprint. Wow, I can use words. Footprint, their digital footprint here at Black Ops. Like you've literally created and curated so many great things that business owners can use. So tell us a little, I'm just, like I said, shameless plug. Tell us about some of the stuff that you're working on in South by Southwest, how you're helping a lot of these folks to be able to use their platforms to reach other folks.
Actually, thank you for that question. And I'm so happy that you brought that up because one of my goals for this year, starting with South by Southwest, is to create a community that I can bring everybody together. And I give you an example. Just between you and I, like you have a network, I have a network. If we combine our networks and we kind of share our database, our connection, some of our connection were intercepts, right? And then we can help so many other people outside the fence. Because I have maximum like 150 close friends inside my fence, and those 150, they have another 150 and another 150. Imagine that we all create that ripple. and creating a community that everybody is trying to add value and help one another regardless of the competition. That's the beauty of this community that I'm trying to create, that do introduction for other people, open doors, ask questions, ask for help, and get help. And that community by itself is going to be so valuable. And the key to this community is ask or help with no expectations. Because I believe when you give, you shall receive.
That part.
Yeah, like last night, I had great conversation with so many of these founders, and I brought it up. I told them that I want to create this community, and there were 30 or 40 of them. They said, "Oh, where we should sign up?" And this is totally a free community, folks. I just want to tell you that the whole goal is we all come together and create amazing things in this world. That's the whole goal. Not everything is financial. Yes, it's important, but together we can create that. Together we can create wealth. Together we can create momentum. Together we can change things. There's stuff that needs to be changed in this country, in this world right now. How we're going to fight against hunger. How we're going to get water to other part of the world. Everything that we think about, we can help.
Yeah.
We can come together and create that by creating a meaningful community.
Well, I know there's going to be a lot.
That's what I ask you.
Yeah.
What is the best platform to do this? And I know you're going to help me out to do that, because this is a great mission. Bring everybody together.
Yeah. And I was talking with a friend of mine there saying that if you look around in a circle and you're the smartest one, you're not in a circle, you're in a cage.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I know that obviously with South by Southwest coming up, with the genius that you are and the space that you've created and where your vision is going, that there's going to be a lot of opportunity, a lot of new people, especially that are coming into the Austin market, coming into the U.S., that are going to be able to connect with you and see that value, because you've already built out the CEO model, connect, educate, offer. They're going to see that value and want to just be a part of something like that, right? They want to be a part of that circle, like you said, 150 people within that circle that can just grow larger and larger.
Absolutely.
People who are all united for the same cause and want to just collaborate versus compete. Collaboration over competition.
Oh yeah. Like this delegation from Europe, all the startup of the founders that. They came to United States. I invite them. There were 20, 25, 26 founders. I invite them to our agency, to our office, to our studio, and we had chat. We were talking about the startups, and we all talk in this place, and they all loved it because we all try to put our minds together how we can help one another. And I offered them my network. I've been in Austin for 30 years, and I have a lot of connection. I said, guys, how can I serve you? How can I open doors for you? And I did 2-3 email introduction, and they are actually going with it, and they are very interested to meet with these founders. What is better than that, to open doors for another person?
I think you just talked about something that I want to ask you about, because you've been in Austin for a while, What have you seen in the different iterations of South by Southwest? Like you talked about, it's traffic, but like, tell me about some of the other years that you've seen South by Southwest. What has it been like?
Before COVID, I remember the South by Southwest was very, very, very crowded. Like people would come from all over the world, and they would, we had the speakers, as always. You have speakers, you got expos, you got, places you can go and see and listen and do all the activities and everything else. But when the COVID happens, of course, they went down, that everything went digital.
100%.
Everything digital. And then now the South by Southwest is it came back. Now, they're trying to get back to that momentum. It's busy, but it's not as busy as it used to be before COVID. But right now, they're getting back on their feet. And usually, the South by Southwest can survive as long as new ideas, new peoples, new innovation, new things is out there. Because you can't really showcase, the same thing every year.
Right.
You have to have varieties. I have seen during the past 10 years that is changing a little bit for good. Like with the rise of artificial intelligence, you have more companies that are coming right now. Startup after startup, they are integrating into the artificial intelligence, platforms and plug into it, and they create new things.
Yeah.
That's important. Therefore, you see a lot of companies in this South by Southwest, they are powered by AI.
I honestly feel like if you have not adapted AI into anything you're doing, you're going to get left behind.
But most of the people, I'm so happy you mentioned that. Most of the people, they think AI is cheating. Like in some parts. Like, now I don't need to find any writers, I can write the AI. No, AI is a tool, like
Right.
other tools.
Right.
Like, for example, you have Adobe, you have Canva. Did Canva really replace graphic designers? It's still, if you need a top-notch design for your brand, you need to go to a good graphic designer, to a brand strategist that can match that vision. Canva cannot do that.
Right.
AI, the same thing. AI can be a tool to get you going. You can dump your idea, you can dump your whatever is your mind, and they can polish it for you. But remember, that database, that artificial intelligence does the same thing, does it for hundreds of thousands of people. Like you're going to have a lot of common words, a lot of sentences that are the same, but at the end of the project, you have to go in there and polish it. And you got to get a writer to correct it, polish that piece of work. But AI is rising, no doubt. And it does amazing things, man. Especially when you come to the data aggregation, and then now they give a data, and then you can predict what's going to happen the next quarter, the next fiscal year. That's amazing by the data you give, and they can analyze it. But it's still nobody or no machine or nothing can replace the human brain.
That part.
I am serious. Nothing.
Well, I think, one, I'm excited for South by Southwest. Thank you for inviting me to be here today. Always have great tea. Let's cheers to that one, because you always have great tea. And we're looking forward to seeing a lot of great connections over this next week, next few days here in Austin, Texas at South by Southwest.
Austin, Texas is good, guys. And as I said, folks, if you're listening to this episode, you're watching it, please share it with other people and drop a comment for us. You have any question, we are here to answer your question to best of our knowledge, and subscribe. Until next time, you have a wonderful day and enjoy the South by Southwest if you are in Austin, Texas.
Let's go.